Jerk alert!
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
Tractor beam sucked me right in.
He slimed me.
It's not a tumor.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Movie Roulette Podcast. My name is Shrout.
I'm Jason.
I'm Andrew. And we're a podcast that talks about movies.
It's been known.
We've done that. Guys, we got one today. I mean, I'm so sure. Like, freak me out totally. We're talking about Valley Girl.
Oh bitches!
Yeah, so awesome.
Tripendicular.
Yeah, like, I mean, just so bitchin'.
It is so bitchin'.
And we got that whole movie nailed.
Yeah, that's
we
it.
nailed it.
We got it.
We're done. We'll see you next time.
That was perfect. All right, now let's dive into this movie.
I think before we get into Andy telling us a little bit about it, we're going to do our ceremonial shot.
Yeah, it's probably going to be necessary.
We'd like to shout out our sponsor, Dr. McGillicuddy's.
McGillicuddy's.
We are doing Andy's using a gift shot glass instead of the red Solo cup. So if you notice, there's a difference.
And
there.
we got some of these too. Thanks, Tiffany. You're amazing.
Yeah, thanks, Tiffany and Jason. But
Oh, and Jason, yeah. And Isla.
Yeah, you know.
Butterscotch.
Butterscotch.
By the way,
Xenu.
before we get into this, speaking of Xenu,
Yes.
I took a little bit of my free time and I actually looked up and
His
read
work.
about Xenu.
Respect,
I didn't realize that we were shouting out a fucking Scientologist.
You never knew
I
this?
didn't know what it was.
2 years.
I didn't know what it
taken
was.
him 2 full
Does he
fucking
do?
years.
Yeah. So it's like tongue in cheek.
Yeah, Xenu is like their god. They're
Yeah.
like alien god.
Yeah.
Yeah. He rules.
I didn't know that.
Hail to Xenu.
Hail Xenu.
I love
By
it.
the way,
I love it.
Yeah, we're in episode 2 of season 3, and
Yeah.
I'm just now
She's
picking
just
up
now
on
learning
Hail
it.
Xenu. I
Hail
actually
Xenu.
didn't know he.
Hail Xenu.
So you just thought I was just hailing some random thing.
Some dude.
You guys had mentioned it had to do with Scientology, but not really. You didn't go in on it, so I was just like, okay.
Oh,
Bruh.
So
I feel you.
you know, bro.
Down drop.
Well,
Dynamite drop in there, Andy.
I know, right?
2025, we got some shit now.
We
All
do.
right, Andy, tell him, Steve Dave.
Yeah.
Tell him, Steve Dave. All right. So this movie was written by Andrew Lane and Wayne Crawford, directed by Martha
Wayne
Coolidge.
Campbell.
Wayne Stack.
Well, who else is going to be at Wayne Stock?
Rip Taylor.
Old man fashioning a kayak for wood.
Starring Nicolas Cage, Deborah Foreman, Elizabeth Daly making her second appearance on this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Bowen, Cameron Dye.
And boy, does she make an appearance.
Yes, she does.
Yes,
Some
they
ghost
do.
nippies. Heidi Holliker, yeah, I did right. Holliker. Colleen Camp and Dick Sanders.
Wait, who's Dick Sanders? Who does he play?
Holliker?
Who does Dick Sanders?
Holliker, I barely know her. And then, if we're going to sand
Did
dicks.
you add that in? Is that really somebody in the
No,
movie?
that's really somebody on the cast. I put it in there because it's a funny fucking name.
Oh, it's a driver's ed teacher.
Yeah, that's who it is. His name is Dick Sanders.
Wow.
He looks like a dick.
Shout out to you, Colonel. Colonel Dick.
I don't remember why. I didn't remember that until you just called it out because you're like, who the fuck is that? I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I did that.
Sergeant York.
Dick Sargent York.
As if we wouldn't notice.
Yeah.
Colonel Sanders. Colonel Dick. I'm just joking.
If he were an ice cream flavor, he'd be Colonel and Dick.
Ow, I landed on my keys. All right, so if you have not seen this, girl goes shopping. Girl breaks up with boyfriend. Girl meets new boyfriend. Girl breaks up with new boyfriend. Girl gets back with old boyfriend. Girl breaks up with old boyfriend and gets back with new boyfriend. Rides in limo.
Rides in limo.
That might be your best one yet.
Dude,
I'm not even going to try to
it's
guess.
definitely getting a nomination.
Spoiler alert. Sorry.
Was it Arnold?
No, it was just
It was
fucking
a dumb fuck. It was a dumb
I was waiting for him to
fuck.
go, and Jamie comes. Jamie.
No, I was just like, I fuck whatever. Like I could go like, hey guys, like this is totally serious. No,
Yeah,
I
but
didn't
then
want to
you'd
do
be
that.
biting my intro.
and I've already done it. No.
That was really good, by the way.
I mean, it's called Valley Girl.
Yeah.
That just lends itself to some of that bullshit and some of that fuckery.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, to preface it, again, 1983.
I was 2.
Interesting.
I was 3.
Youngin', we got a baby over her.
I mean, let's be real. It's
All
not.
right.
It's not like when did it come out?
I
Like,
saw this
March or
movie
something?
in
Yeah.
theaters.
Yeah, so
I wasn't quite 3.
Yeah, I was like, I would probably was 1.5, but
Yeah.
I wrote this before. I
have never
even
seen this
turned it-
before this.
I'd never seen
It
this.
is Andy.
You had never seen this?
No.
Neither
No.
one of you had.
Neither.
No.
No. I prefaced it in the Mallrats episode whenever we rolled this. I wrote a paper about this where the word awesome made it back into our lexicon because of this movie.
Which I don't think is true.
It is.
Which I think is bullshit. You got an F on that paper.
It just, no, I got an A on it. I did.
He's like, no, I got an A.
He's like, no, you're right. It
Yeah,
was-
because your teacher
I
didn't
did
have the
get
heart to tell you you're wrong and full of shit.
No.
Yeah,
it was,
you actually. This paper failed you out of college, and they kicked you out and sent you home.
Oh, that's right.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that
They
totally
burned down your whole dorm.
They did. They were like, fuck that guy. Yeah. No, but then I was like, I honestly don't know what to think about this movie. Just from what I've seen building up to with everything. I'm probably was gonna guessing about a 4 out of 10 at best. Just from what I had seen. So that's where
what he had. his
that's why I
expectations
started. That's
were.
where I started.
So neither one of you had seen this before. I first saw it around 2000.
I'd never heard of it.
I
I had never heard of it prior to that, and I just remember like somebody was like, I don't know, somebody recommended it. It was like, oh, like, have you ever seen Nicolas Cage's like first major, role or whatever? And no. And I actually like when I watched it, and I was kind of blown away that Nick Cage was that young and at the character
He was
he's
18
playing,
at
because he's
this.
kind of a punker, and he's like,
He was a scene kid.
I was cool. I mean, I thought it was cool.
Yeah, he was 18
back when
in
I saw
this.
it. So I actually own it on DVD, and I've watched it over the years, like here and there.
I now own it on
Okay.
DVD as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Respect.
Because I had for this, I had
Yeah.
to go buy it.
I found it for free on
Tubi. That's where I watched it.
I wonder, was it edited?
I don't know. We'll find out.
No.
All right. So that, I mean, like, I don't have
Should we
anything
go
else.
in on scene 1?
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
We should.
I think we should.
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay. Scene 1. Valley Girl opens in the San Fernando Valley, where we meet Julie Richmond, a Valley girl who seems to have it all. Good looks, popularity, and a handsome Valley dude boyfriend, Tommy. But she's having second thoughts about her relationship with the arrogant and selfish Tommy.
Tommy is so bitchin'.
At the end of a shopping trip with her friends, Lauren, Stacy, and Susie, Julie runs into Tommy at the mall and breaks up with him. Later that day at the beach, Julie and her friends discuss the party tonight at Susie's. A city kid from Hollywood overhears their discussion. Meanwhile, Julie trades shy glances with a young man in the distance.
His magnificent chest hair sculpted in the shape of a majestic bird of prey. What a hunk.
The visual of the chest hair is really good.
It looks like a goddamn bird.
It does.
That night
I
at
have
Susie's
something
party, Julie locks eyes with Randy, a Hollywood punk who has crashed the party with his friend Fred. Randy and Julie hit it off, especially after Julie learns Randy was the young man at the beach earlier. Tommy is jealous and tries to bang Lauren. He fails after cockblocking himself and gets his cronies to eject Randy and Fred from the party.
Tommy can't even be an asshole correctly.
Undaunted, Randy sneaks back into the house and hides in an upstairs bathroom shower. Randy waits in the shower for Julie to enter the bathroom as various partygoers come and go. Goers come and go. Goers come and go. Goers come and go.
Yeah.
When Julie finally enters, Randy convinces her to leave the party with him. Julie brings a reluctant Stacy for the ride with Randy and Fred.
Dude, Randy actually becomes Nicolas Cage while driving in Hollywood. Fucking weird, man.
While at Randy's favorite Hollywood nightclub, Julie and Randy rapidly grow closer as Stacy continually rebuffs Fred's advances. Julie ignores Stacy's plight and continues making out with Randy until Stacy's curfew passes. Fred makes some progress with Stacy, but she soon demands to be taken home. Randy then returns Julie home after the sun is up, but Julie's parents are hippies from the free love era and don't seem to mind.
Yeah. Isn't that nice?
Yeah. Hey, during the intro of this thing, the Hollywood/LA landscape,
It must have been a windy day in that chopper.
Makes me
'cause,
happy.
Man, it's just jumping all over the place.
but it makes me happy to see.
I love-
That's my favorite state in the U.S. I love the Southern California, the land, the geography.
Yeah. But no, like, I loved seeing that, the valley. Because you actually get to see that it is a fucking valley.
And I feel like they're playing like Hollywood radio, and then as it scans over, you kind of hear the radio change over to Valley stations.
I didn't notice
think
that.
it happened.
Well, because I know that there was like a news position intro, and it was like the guy, and then it turned into the girl, like with the, and then we get the Bonnie, what's her name? We get this. So yeah, you get that going. So I like that little opening. It was great. It was a nice little opening.
Okay.
And
I mean, it started at the 80s and then straight into the goddamn mall.
Fucking
exactly.
that
I was
mall.
gonna say
Malls were hopping.
Malls in the 1980s were a spectacle. They were a sight to be seen.
And the 90s.
The
man.
lighting, the
Yeah.
architecture, and look at that food court. The
Yeah.
food court is fantastic.
We were live at the golden era of malls.
Yes, we
Yeah.
were.
And this is in there. When these girls are talking, the way she was like, I don't understand if I get all puffed out to the max. I felt like the dialogue was real forced.
Exactly. Pee Wee's girlfriend was
Oh
like
my
forcing
God.
Yeah,
the
E.G.
shit out of it.
Daily, like with the Valley Girl talk, is pretty awesome.
You liked it.
Yeah, because it's so absurd.
Yeah. And then when
But
they
there's so many like familiar like phrases and familiar language that there's because we still say a lot of that shit. You know what
Well,
I
it
mean? We
took
just
me-
don't like do it like that.
she's
It
worried
took-
about her zits, and that'd be grody.
It took me 3 times to understand that she was talking about getting pregnant.
Scarfing up everything in sight. I'm sure, I don't know, you know, like, oh, I get so fat and all, and what happened to my zits and get so grody? And besides, it's totally gnarly birth control.
It took me 3 times watching that to understand.
Oh, dude, you got to read between the lines, bro.
Okay, so when we did the Pee Wee episode,
Mm-hmm.
you were kind of going in on like E.G. Daily being hot,
Yeah, you like
yeah.
Dottie.
and we watched this, and I'm like, okay, Andy's right. Like she's pretty hot.
She's goddamn hot, dude.
I was like, I forgot how hot she is. Actually.
Yeah.
It's-
When these bitches are at the mall gabbing, Brad walks by
Brad does walk by with his sweet little butt.
and they just love his butt.
Yeah.
They can't get enough of Brad's butt.
it is a
And
nice butt.
Julie was like
He
thinking,
must work out.
yeah. Julie was thinking that it was a lock. Like Brad would be all about it. Let's see
Well,
if that pans out.
Julie is the one, like the main character, and
Yeah.
she's like the one who currently has a boyfriend, Tommy.
Yeah.
And they're like talking about it and all this. And then when Brad
She's over
walks by,
Tommy.
she's like, I'm kind of bored of Tommy. I kind of want that guy. And the girl's like, fuck, man, save the rest for the rest. You know, save some
Yeah.
for us, because they think his boyfriend Tommy's such a hunk, and they think Brad's a hunk, and they're like, bitch, you can't have all of them. So yeah, whenever they're going down the escalator and they start to like, and they see
Was that kid
they
on the
just happen to
escalator again?
run in. Yeah, I know, right? I hope Tommy, like a bloodbath should ensue.
Yeah.
But when they see Tommy, that's like how it was back then. It's like you'd have a group of friends and you'd run into other people,
Right.
with no cell phones and stuff. And it was such a stark reminder of it. Like as they're going down, it's like, oh, hey, what's up? And she's like, yeah, well, you haven't called me in 2 days or
days.
whatever. She's like, I'm not waiting around for you. And just with his friends runs into them.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, go on ahead, I'll catch up. And she just hands him his little bracelet back and like dumps
Dude,
him.
yeah.
It is so high school dumpage.
It's so
I loved
stupid.
It.
I'm just like not in love with you anymore, Tommy.
Yeah,
It's
like,
just like-
you're so like boring. Or
Yeah.
she said something that alluded to that in
Yeah.
some sort of
It's
beach
just like-
talk.
Like what? Okay, like I can remember being that age and jumping off of a boat that quickly. Be like, all right, I'm out. I'm done. So
Oh yeah,
And also the guy that plays Tommy,
fuck that guy.
he's been
Pretty
in
douchey.
a fuck ton of shit though.
but see, to me, Tommy just reminds me of the guy.
I'll give it a whirl.
Tommy reminds me of the guy that shows up at the local bar still wearing his Letterman's jacket when he's 37 years old. Like you can just see it in his face at this point. I'm just like, ugh.
Well, do we have like all the girls at the beach?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that's how they move the plot along. Is the girls are hanging out at the beach and they're in the line of the concession stand talking about a party.
Right.
And we see the character we later learned to be Fred, Nicolas Cage's friend, like overhearing them talking about where the address of the party and shit.
Uh-huh.
And then when he goes back to Nicolas Cage on the beach, and the girls are like checking him out, which
Right.
again with the bird chest hair, the whole nine, fucking ridiculous.
Well, when he comes before you move on, when he comes running up the sand, why is he running like he looks like he's about to keel over from a heart attack?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, this is probably like take 37. He's like,
Yeah.
God damn it! But
did
either
he-
way, oh sorry, go on.
No, I was just getting, you talked about it. Did he shave his chest hair in that?
It's distracting. It's all I see.
Like I've never seen
KAKAW.
hair like
I mean, it's all I see.
Yeah.
But when Fred comes back to him and straight up is like, "Hey, we're gonna go to this bitch and party," I don't know what it is.
27232.
He is such a bad Like that line is delivered so terribly that I'm like, oh, he's an awful actor. This is, and I was like,
Who, Fred?
Yeah. At that moment, I was like, oh no, we're in for like a real.
He turns out to be one of my faves in this, though.
But it's never that bad again.
No,
I will say that. But there's a moment when he talks to Nicolas Cage on the beach. I'm like, holy shit, this is gonna be shitty.
Yeah. Well, and Cage's character, Randy, I don't think we know his name yet.
Yeah, Randy.
He doesn't want to go to the valley. He's like not on board with this party.
Like, dude, I don't want to fucking go. He's like, no, there's going to be awesome chicks there and all.
I've already seen the talent.
Hey man, 23727 Sierra Vista. It's a party. It is going to be amazing. I've seen the chicks. I know about these things, and I got a feeling about this one. This is going to be hot. I'm telling you. And it's in the valley. What? The party's in the valley. I don't want to go to the valley. Trust me, I don't want to go to the valley. I'm not in the mood to go to the valley.
The next thing I have is like Julie's with her parents. She's talking to her parents.
Yeah.
I said, speaking of Uncle Rico, her dad had to be the aesthetic, like physical inspiration for Uncle Rico.
Totally.
I put.
He
Sonny
looks like
Bono.
Uncle Rico.
He reminded
Sonny
me
Bono and Rico.
Yeah. But so yeah, what did you do? You have anything to say about their the parents' conversation?
I didn't write anything down from this conversation.
But
her parents are cool though.
Yeah, you kind of see her like getting ready with a friend, and they're talking shit on Lauren being like a slut, like, oh, that stuff tastes like Clorox, or So Lauren sucks some D's.
Does it?
I've heard it. The smell of bleach.
Yeah, I mean, you've smelled it. I mean, it's got a little bit of a bleachy.
I only smell it like when it's like crusty and stuff like that. So I don't know. But I was wondering what the fuck was the point of the whole conversation between the parents after Julie.
I'm glad you saw it too. Right when they leave, and then they both face camera like a fucking sitcom. This goes back to the 1983 thing where they're trying to figure out how to make these movies. They haven't quite got there.
Oh, dude,
it was
Can you explain
strange.
more about what happened? Because I don't remember.
Exactly.
When
There's
they
no
leave-
fucking point.
Sarah, you know how much she looks like you? I mean, you were just her age when I met you.
Do I still look that way?
Better.
But things were sure a lot wilder then.
Yeah. Different priorities, that's all. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Anytime they leave the scene and the parents are still there, the camera will stay on them and be like, well, babe, and they'll put their arms around each other, face camera, and just have these like very strange exchanges of dialogue that feel very forced and unnatural. And then it cuts to the scene. You're like, what the fuck?
First thing I have from the party is that Brad is totally uninterested in Julie.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
How unexpected. Because I was like, this is setting it up to where
exactly
this is going to be
He's
the
like
next thing.
not fucking interested in the least bit.
She's like, if you get any sushi, he's like,
Not even
no,
a
I haven't
little bit.
made it in there yet. And she's just like,
And he just
fuck
turns
off.
around and continues his
I
conversation.
mean, it's like
with
a
his friends.
cold shoulder. Like,
dude,
yeah.
Like, but so I that's what I was talking about earlier in the food court. They were sitting there and she was like, I have this down on lock. I could go after Brad. I don't need Tommy. But
Well, I wonder maybe if he's a little afraid of Tommy. Which, again, most unintimidating looking character.
Tommy or Brad?
Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy sucks.
But maybe Brad is like, Tommy staked his claim and like
Maybe Brad is
Julie is his, and so maybe any other guy is like
Brad might be on the level where he thinks he's too good for all of those chicks.
I think
that's kind of the way they played it.
I think he is, but
he wasn't
like,
like after any of them.
We get zero depth for Brad.
Yeah, that's the thing is we
That's
don't
it.
know, but like either one of those theories fits really well. Like
Brad was gay.
Oh, that's what it was. Did you see that jacket?
Maybe he
you
is.
was definitely.
Why he's got such a cute butt? I mean,
maybe he'd
so
rather
they say.
maybe he'd
Girls
rather have
say that.
Tommy than Julie.
So the next thing I have is whenever they're in the kitchen and Beth is making the sushi with Susie. And she's just
This is our introduction to Beth, by the way.
Yeah, I had to rewind this scene to try to figure out everyone's fucking relationship. I was really annoyed by this.
Okay, so that
is her goddamn stepmom.
That's her stepmom.
And some guy that she's kind of seeing.
Right.
And I think they alluded that her father is dead.
He's dead.
And her mother is possibly dead from way early.
So this
or
is
gone.
what I think actually happened was
They
that
make us figure out that it's her and her stepmom living in that house
right,
alone.
right. Well, so
Okay.
what I figured out is that like that's what Susie's mom is doing. She's fucking with the pirates.
Well, I don't really care much about Susie's mom and dad, but Susie's stepmom Beth, is the hottest woman in this movie.
Thank you.
Hey, as even
Lee
even in
Purcell.
I was going to bring that up. That clearly of all of them, though, Beth is the winner.
Well, but there are way too many fucking scenes of dancing. Like they cut back to this dancing.
The awkward 80s
So
dancing.
I also felt like this party scene was going to be like a quick thing. And it felt like it was a good third of the movie. It felt like it. I don't know if it was.
Just this one party. Just this
at
one
party.
fucking
A
party.
lot kind of goes down. But what, maybe we should do the audience a favor and kind of sum up. What are the big highlights we get from this party? There's a couple funny, like, little...
Skip.
I heard him say the pukoid thing.
Yeah, so Tommy walks up with another girl.
Yep.
Says hello to Julie and Stacy, and Julie goes, God, he's such a total pukoid.
Yeah. So they're like kind of wedging some of that dialogue in there.
Yeah.
But we also learned that Tommy comes up and finds Lauren, her friend Lauren, Pee-wee's girlfriend. Finds her upstairs, pulls her into a room. They get kind of freaky.
We get to see her boobs.
Her boobs come out.
Also, in this time, something that we need to mention too is that sparks are flying between Beth and Skip.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Skip is another guy from school that
the way
Susie
it felt.
likes.
That's the way it felt. She was like, "Hey, I want to introduce you to this guy I like," and to her stepmom, she clearly kind of has a competitive thing with her.
Yeah, and then Susie is picking up on
and she's
it.
making fuck me
like,
eyes. I put that in there. I'm like, there's something kind of weird going on. And Skip seems, this is kind of weird. And then even Lauren is asking the Tommy, because she does say, what about Julie? She doesn't want to hurt her friend. And she's like, doesn't this mean we're like together now? And they haven't had sex. Why would? Okay, hear me out. He's already being an asshole, right?
Right.
He's already being kind of a dick. He's like messing in with a girl's friendship. He's in there doing that. Why wouldn't he just go, yeah, it means we're together, babe, until he got his rocks off, and then, because he's an asshole either way, so why not? You know what I mean?
But
he cockblocks himself. He basically he's like, you're an awful friend for for doing this with me. I'm like, yo, that's interesting. You just cockblocked yourself.
Yeah, he just looks like more of a dick from doing that.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, he's a dick either way. That was my whole point. It's like, wouldn't the ultimate dickhead move be he goes through with it before he lets her down?
Yeah.
That raises the stakes and makes him a bigger dick.
But I think
instead he cockblocks himself. Where I'm like, okay, he's still a dick, but now he's like a less devious and more stupid dick, which is fun.
More devious and less stupid.
And
dick.
before he goes
less
upstairs
devious.
with Lauren, I just want to note that my people, the punks, have arrived at the party.
Yeah, and there's just two of them.
Randy and Fred.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're getting all these dirty looks from the fucking pretty people, the beautiful people.
Yeah, when they make their way into the kitchen, how they try to make it seem like sushi's lame and like for like rich fucking losers, and they try to make it seem like it's gross.
Yeah, the way
like
these people
how culture has shifted.
Sushi's fucking bullshit anyway.
Hold on, you don't like
fuck
sushi?
off, dude.
No,
Sushi's
I'm not.
amazing.
Come on, Fred, dig in.
I think I'll just get something to drink.
So after we find out that Susie's mom is a pirate in the Arabian Sea, we go back to we were talking about Beth wanted to fuck Skip, like because
we're just getting that vibe.
Yeah.
She's giving him the devil
That's
eyes.
the main things happening at this party is Tommy is trying to make Julie jealous because they broke up.
Yeah.
They're getting Skip and the Beth and Suji kind of weird fuck me situation.
Real
going on.
quick though on that, when Susie's like, "That's him. He's the one with the brown hair." There are 7 people in frame. 7 people have brown fucking
Well, she
hair.
was clearly pointing him out, but then
But it's just like brown hair, like the blue shirt. Like there's one person with blue shirt. Do that. Like there's another thing that really, really pissed me off at this movie. I'm gonna save my rage for that.
okay. So even with this hookup though between Tommy and Lauren, not to spoil it because this is where it happens, but the reason we have to leave it here is because it never comes up again.
Nope. I thought
So,
I thought there was gonna be drama
there's
down the
no
line.
There's not even addressed by the characters. So I also will chalk that up to still figuring out how to make these types of movies. Maybe it's editing. Maybe they had to cut that part out. Maybe it was filmed. I don't know. But it's clearly like something that was there. It
I
seems
remember
like it's
when
left hanging.
Even though I've seen this several times, like I remember like when that was happening, I was like, oh, what ends up happening with that? Like, doesn't she get called out or like? But
Nothing.
no, it doesn't.
No, but
Never even comes up again.
there's one thing when they're at the school, Lauren kind of looks at Tommy weird and kind of bounces real quick. That's about it.
But like during the party, I like when Julie and Randy like start kind of like giving each other looks from across the room. I do enjoy that. I like when people like
That's the other main thing that happens
in
at the party.
characters in movies when they find a connection like with somebody they've never met before, like just at a party or whatever. It's kind of cool to see. And then Randy makes a joke to her about like this being a costume party.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
The exact same fucking thing that Julie does all fucking in the party.
She just
it's creepy looking.
Exactly. She just stands and stares.
She doesn't look creepy doing it, but you do.
She does. She just stands and stares.
I didn't think she looked creepy.
All right. So she's just stared at him at the beach, at Randy at the beach, and then when they are at the there you go, at the party, she just stands in the middle of the fucking like people are dancing around her. She's just like staring at him.
Well, I kind of also like how at that time Fred is also trying to make his rounds and like try to hit on girls, and none of them are having it.
Oh, I love Fred.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
like
Fred's
trying to hit
like-
on him.
he
This is
doesn't
where he
give a
kind
fuck.
of becomes funny. He's like just trying to take every shot he can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's just like he knows it's a numbers game. And then they end up like throwing Randy and Fred out, and that's when Randy like yells. He's like, "Fuck you,
jerk! Kiss my ass!" They're just saying like,
yeah.
One of them does say the word jerk. I remember being like, "Come on."
You get out of here! Fuck you! Jerk.
Kiss my ass!
Who are you now? Are
Julie
you still
out the
Julie?
fucking window. Just staring out the fucking window at him.
Why does that make you mad that she's looking out the window?
Do something.
Looking out the window.
It's just she's just standing there.
She was pining for him.
Cool. Go outside. Hey, we'll meet back up. Here's my number.
Well, she didn't need to do that because Randy and Fred are driving away from the party in Fred's mom's car.
She doesn't know that.
This is also some strange
I'm not
dialogue.
talking about her. But he goes, and Randy like forces him to stop, and they get out and they're kind of arguing, like walking around the car, and Randy goes, "Nobody is going to tell me who I can score with."
That's what I'm talking about. The weirdest dialogue.
Oh, I got his.
I thought that was so fucking funny.
I got something. The best line of Nicky Cage in this movie
I was
is
doing
like,
all right with that chick. Who the fuck does he think he is?
yeah, and I'm just like,
You calling him Nicky now? He's Nicky Cage.
yeah, it's Nicky Cage. But
And then when they go back to the party, the way like Randy just pulls sideways into the driveway and he doesn't park straight. He just takes up like 3/4 of the driveway. But they get back and Randy goes up and like hides in the bathroom. He like breaks in through the window.
Tit number 2.
Hides it, and we do see. I was gonna say
yes, that's
we see
number
another
2.
set of
That's
another set of
what I
boobs
saw.
in the bathroom.
Yeah,
God, we are fucking immature.
we are.
No, it's just 80s movies. I literally jotted this down.
And then
because it's like now it's like strange. Now all you get is fucking dicks.
Yeah.
They're trying to make up for it. There's too much hanging dong
Yeah.
in movies, man.
Yeah, but
They're like making up for it. Have you noticed this?
Yeah.
You're way more likely to see a dick in a movie than tits nowadays.
yes, yeah.
Straight up.
But anyway, he's in the bathroom for what seems like forever, waiting.
'cause
Like different people are coming in.
He knows that eventually she's coming in.
You got something before that?
All right, so who can it be now? That song that's playing the entire time he's in there is 3 minutes and 23 seconds. Was he in there for only 3 minutes and 23 seconds, or did someone just put it on repeat? Because they're making it sound like the movie or the inside that party. Who can it be now? Is-
When Julie comes,
You're right.
Julie finally comes into the bathroom.
Yeah.
And we hear "Love My Way" by the Psychedelic Furs.
You had to.
Great fucking song. That's a great moment.
Lot of movies.
Dude, it is it's so good.
I know it's good.
But that's one thing with this. I was gonna talk about it later, but we can talk about it now. The music in this is fucking great.
Yeah, I've got some stuff later about some of the music.
Yeah.
So the point of Julie coming in, the only reason for that is to push forward that he's like, hey, why don't you leave the party with me and my friend?
Right.
And she's like, well, I'm going to bring my friend. He's like, fuck yeah. And her and Stacy, not Susie, because this was a fucking confusing bit of
Stacy and
shit
Susie
for me. Stacy and Julie come out front. And of course, Fred's like,
well, yeah, Susie wasn't going to go because that was her house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying I kept confusing Susie and Stacy. They both have the dark hair. You know,
they both have dark hair. They both have names that start with S. They're both about the same height. The only thing is Susie's a little bit.
Yeah, and she has shorter hair.
Susie's a little curvier and taller.
Yeah.
She's better looking than Stacy. Stacy's got like the straight bangs and like.
But her personality is so fucking great. It comes out right here. It's like so great.
I love how she's like calling them. She doesn't want to go. She's like calling them hoods and juvenile delinquents and shit.
When it comes out, Fred goes, "Hi, I'm Fred. I like tacos and 71 Cabernet."
Yeah, and my favorite color is magenta.
Yeah, that's my favorite part.
And she's just like, "Fuck."
And then Stacy goes,
"I don't want anyone
I
to
am
know."
simply gonna freak out and die.
Yeah.
If you tell anybody about this, and like as she's crawling in,
and so that's the thing is where they cruise on over to the Hollywood side, which
Right.
these Valley girls are like, oh God, that's like the big city. They treat it like it's like that's where like
They don't treat it like the big city. They treat
that's
it
where
like
crime and
it's like
oh,
rougher. It's
scary.
Yeah, because
All right.
But
they know
when
LA
he's
is the big
cruising
city.
down like Hollywood Boulevard or Sunset or wherever he's
They're on
exactly at,
Sunset.
because they show Strout would know they show clips from Sunset, from Hollywood Boulevard, I believe even Melrose. They're showing clips of a bunch of
Well,
different
famous-
roads.
Yeah.
But when he's just goes, oh no, you didn't. No.
Oh no, you didn't.
Okay.
I just remember being like,
all of the awkward
fucking
like interactions
was
with people that he
embarrassed.
has from the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're embarrassing.
So
I was like, look, he's gone full Nicolas Cage.
Hey, Harvey! Harvey! I thought you were gonna get the mohawk! Nah, pushed out. No way, man! You didn't do that! I'll talk to you later!
Stacy goes, like, I'm not getting out of this car. And then Randy goes, or Fred goes, all right, but when they attack the car, save the radio.
That was my favorite. And then they get into the rock club. Not a bad band. Not a bad band.
Oh, no,
They're jamming.
Well, no, I was gonna say like
Not
those
bad
guys.
for 80s music.
Those guys look like they're an actual like.
I think it was. I think
Yeah.
that's the real band for
No,
the real song.
that's-
That's my guess. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, can I just go in on this?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Because that's
It's
after
your
I
going
talk
on.
about
What are you
after I
talking about?
after I
Get
talk
on
about
the podcast.
after I talk about after
Reset.
okay, so they go to a club
Uh-huh.
called the Central.
Okay.
It's in Hollywood.
Uh-huh.
It's a real club.
Okay.
Yep.
In 1993 or 1992 or something, this club was purchased by Johnny Depp and renamed the Viper Room. And the band we get in there is the Plimsolls.
Okay.
Yep.
Real band, great fucking band.
Real songs, right?
They later play a
Yeah.
song called "Million Miles Away."
Yep. That
which
was
is
the standout.
Awesome. Their record "Everywhere at Once" is a great record. You should check it out.
Well,
I
so-
thought about checking
It's
it out
good,
after
like
hearing this. I
power
was like,
pop, kind of
yeah,
punky.
yeah.
Like,
I think kind of ahead of its time. For
Yeah.
83, I was like impressed with some of the musical ideas I was hearing out of them. And I was like, you know what? Sometimes I like forget that there was some like really kind of ahead of its time shit.
Yeah.
That I still don't.
They're
that
kind
I
of
don't
like if you took
know.
like the more melodic Husker Du stuff and then made
Yeah.
it even more pop or alt.
Yeah, I
is-
could see that
then-
totally.
That is like perfect. That is a
Yeah.
perfect description of them. Yes.
They're like the softer Husker Du stuff, but even
Yeah.
a little bit more.
Don't.
Yeah.
Love
you know.
Husker Du. Okay, so yeah,
So they're in the club and there's like conversation going.
I just want to say that like when they showed the inside of that club, that to me was a place that we would have been hanging out at.
Absolutely. That's like
That's
where like a local band or a scene would have been having shows.
we would have been
Looked like that.
Randy and Fred. We would have been with them, and
Possibly, yeah.
because the high fiver party is going on. We made an appearance. We got kicked out. Cool. Let's go hang out with all the cool people.
We did in high school drive into the city all the time and go
Yes,
to shows
that's exactly,
and hang out
exactly
with
what we
people in
did.
the city.
This is exactly what we did.
And we would come and dry ice bomb suburban
Yes.
parties. Fuck
Yeah.
with them. Yeah. No,
Yeah, we were eating.
I
we
could
were
see
eating at
that.
Otto's and shit when the
Yeah.
like the
Yes.
high fivers were like not leaving Blue Springs.
Right.
Yeah.
Most of them still haven't left. They still like a lot of them still live here.
But
Like Andy.
high five.
well, their conversation was a little like thin, but he almost like insults her, or he's just like, she's like, you know, what are you doing? He's like, or we all do the same things. We just like, you know, are real.
But
How is it that I was going to talk and then I let you go and then he goes and he says exactly what I was going to say?
I don't know.
Nice.
Nice. You guys are on the same
Fucking-
wavelength. So you
Yeah,
guys
he
should
goes.
make
He goes.
out or
It's the
something."
way that we do things that makes a difference.
Right. That's what I was getting at.
Which
'cause
I love that. I love that. But
Right. You guys are all fake. We buy normal clothes,
Yeah,
go
yeah.
to normal parties. Like,
And then
fuck you, bitch.
Stacy's over here putting napkins in her ears, and she goes,
Do you think they could crank this noise up a little louder?
Noise? This music's got emotion, power. That techno rock you guys listen to is gutless.
I'm sure.
and then the Plim
Yeah.
Souls play "A Million Miles Away," which
Yeah.
is the best song in the whole film.
And he says, you and the rest, you're just like her and the rest of your friends. You're all fucking programmed. And I'm like, yo, are you trying to get laid? What are you doing?
Well, he's negging
What are you
her.
doing?
He was just ahead of the game of the game. Like he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
negging her. So,
That's right. And what a quality program that is.
Yeah.
They start to kiss, and then it cuts back to Julie's parents' house, and you see him kind of pacing,
Pacing.
waiting up on, and they're like, "Hey, don't worry about it," you know. she'll be all right, and be like, remember our night in the cemetery? And you're like,
It freaks the fuck out.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Well,
Remember
yeah,
our
it's
night in the
supposed to be like a
cemetery?
little joke.
Like they were
yeah.
fucking in the cemetery. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, but
And
like,
then
her
it shows
dad
them
was
like a make out point after that. Like
Yeah.
the culmination of their hangout is like now they're up in the hills somewhere, probably Mulholland Drive or some bullshit, and they're
that's a good movie.
I think I watched it, but it seems like Randy and Julie are fucking making out. They're going well.
Dude, they're going after it.
Fred and Stacy are kind of
They're like
he's flirting,
chasing each other around the car.
but she's opening up a
Yeah,
little bit.
she's
She's
starting to laugh,
laughing.
yeah.
She's getting it. And I think in the scene he actually gets his first kiss from her.
Well, he steals it from her.
Yeah, and she's not like completely like
Yeah, she's not pulling away or anything
Yeah,
like
she's
that.
starting to feel it a little
he
bit.
earned it.
Yeah.
Well, then it cuts to like Stacy needs to go home. It's past her curfew, whatever. So you're thinking, okay, they're going home. The parents, it shows them worry. But then when it cuts to Randy dropping off, the sun's clearly up. You're
Yeah.
like, they stayed up all night.
Yeah.
It's like, man,
Remember
I
those
remember
nights?
being like, oh, it's going to be in trouble. This is where you find out just how hippie the parents are. Like, she's not in trouble at all. She's still in high school, though. She stayed up all night
that
with
was
a
one of the
dude.
things
I'm
that
like,
I didn't understand. They were fucking they're in
very
fucking
cool
high
hip-
school.
very cool hippie parents.
You know what I love? Her dad's goes, it's not fair with all the creepy crawlers out there and everything.
Yeah.
He called like,
And then she's just like, I was, and he's like, no, we don't need to know what you were doing.
well, she's like, why can't you just punish me like Stacy's parents? And her mom goes, bad karma, dear.
Yeah,
Totally.
that's how it ends that scene. But she's getting mad at her parents for not getting mad at her, and her dad's mad, but her mom is like totally chill. It's like, dude, what the fuck is happening? Like, it was so inconsistent.
I just felt like I'm like missing things here
Yes.
and there. There's little things where I'm like, oh, or maybe that pays off or what? Why was that weird?
Every scene with her parents is fucking awkward as shit.
Yeah, but they are likable characters.
They are.
But it's just a little bit weird.
Like you
Things
said,
are
it's-
like things are strange.
You,
and
you
clunky.
nailed it. It's clunky. And then, like, that's the only thing I have.
Yeah, because it ends after there. Their first day went well, Julie and Randy, and the parents don't seem to care. So, they're off to the races.
Okay.
All right.
Scene 2.
Ain't seen it.
Okay.
The next day during driver's ed class, Julie and her friends gossip about Susie's party and the events that follow. Julie's friends, dismayed by her relationship with Randy because they think he's a freak, pressure her to get back together with Tommy. Meanwhile, a pointless and confusing subplot is taking place between Susie, her stepmom Beth, and Skip, but who cares?
Yeah, that shit has nothing to do with anything.
It really doesn't.
Yeah, but Beth is hot. Randy then visits Julie at her parents' health food store. A montage then ensues of the new couple dating and growing closer over weeks of time.
Just show us all the passage of time. We're gonna need a mount house. Even Rocky had a mount house.
As Julie is distracted by Randy, Tommy is putting in a good word for himself with Julie's friends in an attempt to win Julie back. It's working. Her friends really press the issue, confusing Julie. Julie then asks her father for advice, and he kindly tells her she should follow her heart.
Thanks, Pat. Load there, Chet.
Despite this, Julie reconciles with Tommy and later dumps Randy. The heartbroken Randy goes back to his favorite club, gets severely drunk, makes out with his ex-girlfriend, and nearly gets into a fight with some street toughs before Fred saves him.
Not a bad night for Randy, considering.
Fred gives Randy shit for moping over Julie, but tells him he needs to fight if he truly wants her back. Randy then goes into stalker mode and attempts to confront Julie outside of her house, but she sends him away with nothing. He then has songs dedicated to her on the radio. He shows up in bad disguises on her dates with Tommy. He even camps out in Julie's yard and hopes to get her to talk to him.
Randy gives some of that weird Nicolas Cage energy again.
He does.
All with no luck. Then while Randy mopes with Fred, Fred says he has a plan that will reunite Randy with Julie as well as get revenge against Tommy. Randy is all ears.
All right.
Man.
Okay. So the girls are in the car for driver's ed.
How the
part of
fuck
this.
old are these people?
What people?
Julie, Lauren, Susie.
They're in driver's
they're in
ed.
high
So
school.
now
They're
we're like,
16?
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, straight up. You don't take driver's
Well,
ed when you're 18.
No, you don't if it's outside of school, but in school they would have it.
Like
Like back in the day?
16.
Maybe it was just
No,
like
you could take it even if you
before
were a
you
senior.
graduate. Like maybe it's like
Yeah.
an elective.
And so it was like that was how it was like when my mom took hers. It was in school.
Okay.
All
It was a
right.
class in
Fair
school.
enough. Fair enough.
All right.
Anyway, they're in the car for the driver's ed. Julie, she thinks that Randy's like the most awesome dude ever. She's like, man, he's just like tripendicular, you know?
Yes. I really grabbed onto that quote. Just being like,
Tripendicular.
huh.
I don't think that's ever been used in another.
Yeah, I
I don't
don't
think that's-
I
I
feel
don't-
like you made
I
it
don't
there
think
and it
anything.
ended here. It felt very forced. It felt very strange. It was wedged in there.
It works though.
The way that they're doing the dialogue is
It's
so
only-
forced.
It's only to push this, like, so where were you actually really at? Where, you know,
It's so bad.
Yeah,
it's all of their dialogue is awkward and forced, and it's frustrating.
yeah, because it's supposed to be like her dating the guy from Hollywood. Like her friends will never understand. It's, you know, Romeo and Juliet.
Right.
It's not going to work. And but they're also kind of doing it in this kind of comedic relief way, which doesn't feel like it matches.
And it doesn't.
And ultimately, there's just not these big payoffs for these scenes. Like even the information that comes along, you're like, okay. Like when it ends here, this is where it cuts to Beth sitting by her pool on the phone, whatever, and Skip comes by. This scene confused the fuck out of me.
Yes.
Hey, it's no secret that he's the one that delivered the groceries, man.
It's a very long scene. I was a little high while watching this.
A little high.
It was a little high, but you know how time seems to pass a little bit slower sometimes when you're high?
I think we're dead.
Time is going by really, 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 really slow, and I think we're dead.
I thought that this thing, I was just like, oh, dude, I'm a little bit higher than I thought.
A little high, a lot of sap.
This scene is taking a very long time to finish up. I was
And
like,
was
I
not-
rewatched
Are we
it.
talking about the driver's ed scene?
No, we're talking about the by the pool,
Beth
Skip
and
and
Skip.
Beth. I also feel like it wasn't direct in exactly what it was trying to
It
say.
didn't really take that long.
It took for fucking ever.
I'm not going to say forever, but my whole thing was just how confused I was. It was almost the way I felt. It was like, oh, did you come here to fuck me? And then he's basically like, yeah, I did. And then she's just like, well, you know, when the time is right, the time is right. And he's just like, okay, goodbye. And she's like, all right, goodbye. And I'm like, what? So that's the way I basically took the scene. I summed it up. It felt very like, hold on. So she's propositioning him and then he leaves. Oh, it's because maybe the daughter.
Yeah,
said
they
gone
even
home.
say like she's going to be home soon.
So he came to see the stepmom, right? Or she came to see the daughter, and it was almost like they also made it seem like, oh, you came to see my daughter, didn't you? And you guys are like,
no, he came to see her,
right? But I just didn't feel like it was that clear. It took me like I had to watch this a couple of times.
Yes, so did I.
I was
Were
a
you
little
high
confused
too?
by it.
Because it's real easy to figure out when you're not high.
No,
I don't.
I watched
watch
it. I watched it
like
not
that.
high, and it was like
You just said you were high when you watched
the
it.
first time, and then you guys cut me off, and I said I watched it again, and I was like, no, this took for fucking ever, and I don't get it.
We find out here though that her parents were at some like pretty major events.
Yeah, it was a
Woodstock. Like I think they mentioned like the Washington March or
Yeah,
something.
they walked in
and,
March, and yeah,
and then something about like yuck, and Julie's dad's like, "You're a yuck."
Yes,
He says that to Julie. You're a yuck.
You're a yuck.
Like a little playful. And then there's that customer that's like, eating there. And
yeah.
he's-
What the fuck is up with that guy?
He's talking to her parents,
Steve,
and like, well, he's talking to her dad, and then her mom walks up, and he seems to like get offended when she walks up
Yeah.
because he like moves a seat over and
Yeah.
takes his food with him.
and then he's like, well, I could talk to Julie. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
And then they leave. Julie and Randy leave together, and
Well,
we
when
get a
Randy shows up, he
montage.
kind of does meet the dad and all that. And I noticed the goddamn bird chest hair even with his shirt
Yeah.
because it's open here. So it feels like you can still see the bird.
I got myself a full
Caw.
It's worse than my kit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, kick yeah.
yeah,
Kick yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but yes, they leave. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. So they leave, and there's a montage of them like exploring Hollywood and basically making out everywhere they can.
Yeah, that's a
What's the
long
song going along
montage,
with
and it's Melt With You. They're really pushing off. Correct. They're really like. This seems like a good amount of time has passed. Like they've gone through some stuff together in this montage. So, what are you thinking? 2 weeks? You thinking a month? What are you thinking?
I know.
You know
I know.
the answer?
Yeah.
What is it?
1 week.
That was a 1 week.
Well, that was 1 week.
They
Where'd you get that
fucking
from?
hung out.
Did you research it?
nonstop.
When Susie, Stacy, and Lauren are all talking, and the next thing, like, we haven't seen her all week.
Oh.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's
Yeah,
the time span.
not at all.
They haven't seen her all week, but there
They're
could
just
be
saying,
2
like,
weeks
this
before
week.
that where they did.
Because in the montage, she still like hung out with her friends a little bit, but they were like really getting hot and heavy.
I was late on that one.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. I figured it was a week. But I'll concede to 2. I will.
It could be, but we don't know
Like
that.
two's
Is what I'm
minimum.
saying. Like, there's no set.
It really seemed to
it's
like get
almost
to
like
know
they
each
should
other.
have written the story better. But go on.
We see Tommy like seeing them on a date together,
And
he's not happy.
He's at the mall.
Yeah, and then Tommy like manipulates her friends
Yeah, because that's
Like
when
a
it cuts
winner
out of the
again.
montage, finally out of it. It's a long one. I think we get the whole goddamn track.
We get the whole fucking
Which is why it
film.
seems like they were, it was a long, like it's a couple of months is almost what it feels like. But like I said, it's clunky. I'm not gonna beat it with a belt, but it's clunky. Okay, let's
gonna
put
beat
the
the
gun
shit-
away and everyone take a breath.
Back off the edge of the cliff, Andy. I just like they're at the they're having the sleepover.
Right.
Just like Randy might like the Hollywood lean look.
Yeah, but Blimstone get to go with Tommy.
Who?
Tommy.
Who? Tommy! Fuck him!
I just like her response. Fuck him.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, she's all about Randy, but the little girl when she skips the record player, did you watch her fall into it?
She wasn't the greatest little actress. And I
then
know
she's
it's a small part, but surely we can do better than this.
Yes, exactly.
Do we have to put up with this? I mean, can't we get a better actor? I know it's a small part, but I think we can do better than this.
Exactly. That's
Do
what
you
I'm
think
saying.
maybe it was like the character was intentionally doing that to try to get involved in what was going on?
No, I
Like
think
an
it's
annoying,
fucking
annoying little
stupid
sibling
head or something
Yeah.
like that.
But yeah, at this point, like her friends have her like going back and forth. She's like going back and forth between liking Randy, but feeling left out with her friends.
Yep.
And if she hangs out with Tommy, that's kind of more in her circle, and it's really really immature teenage mindset.
Well, and I was gonna be like, this is so fucking stupid, but I also do remember. I don't remember the actual feelings, but I remember thinking that like my high school relationship's gonna last forever. Everything that's so important right now, so I can understand where they get all of that. I get it. I was about ready to be like, fuck this, but I'm like, well, I get it. I have to
It is
concede.
really hard to see outside of it when you're that age.
Yeah.
And then I think the next day he just rides his bike over there.
Yes.
And he's wanting to meet with Beth, and he
Which
ends
is
up
also not clear.
Yeah.
Because he goes in and we see him like look at a lady in shower.
I think the fact that he's like turning around and like hesitant is like because he's like, okay,
Yes.
is it wise of me to hook up with somebody's mom, especially a girl that likes me? So he's just like, fuck it. He goes in.
That's your
and
mom,
then he finds Susie's in the shower, and Susie wants him. So it's already like, okay, I'm already here. I'm gonna fuck Susie.
But we're there. I think they're implying that it's Beth.
But they
He
allude
thinks
to it
it's
exactly. They're hiding
They're
faces.
implying that they don't know.
Yeah, they're hiding
But
faces.
when you see
they
the girl
want
in
it
the
to be a
shower,
twist
she's
or a
got
turn.
dark hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and so like I think that's why Susie's hair is short because of this scene. So that way there is that confusing thing happening here.
Exactly. And the payoff, it's actually Susie and not Beth. And Beth's the one that catch him. You're like, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Cool.
don't you
Nito Frito. I
don't you love the
fucking
scene
care.
that comes from this after this?
No.
Yeah, because there isn't one.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
no.
yeah. That's
This
what
is
I mean.
the end of the story.
This is a subplot that doesn't pay off. That's just confusing and doesn't matter. That's kind of what I summed it up to be.
Yes.
It's fun to talk about that. So then it cuts back to the actual main storyline. Julie talking to her father. And that's why I said thanks a pant load there, Chet. Because it ultimately is like, just follow your heart. I'm like, oh, fuck. He didn't
But
really
he's
get-
right though. I mean,
I know. Because
she's
just
not
a very
following her
generic
heart.
thing.
She's like worried about her. She's like worried about her heart, but
I know,
also what her friends.
I mean, it was
think,
just
and,
very
like,
generic advice.
Yeah.
It's like very easy
I
advice
kind
to
of like the
give and-
conversation though myself. I thought it was. I like her dad. I think he's kind of a quirky.
Yeah, I
kinda
like
cool.
I like the characters,
Yeah,
especially
he married
'cause
a child bride. I like him.
they would be cool in law.
He didn't marry a child bride. The character's not fucking
Yeah, he
9
did.
when they got married.
Yeah, it is. That's what's going on in here. Can't change that. Next thing I have is whenever she's at the diner with her buddies,
Yeah.
and she doesn't know. Like those are shitty friends.
Yeah, they're making her feel bad.
Exactly.
Totally.
I remember
They're trying to steer her the way they think she should go.
I can remember when I dated shitty people like Ass Voice. Do you remember her? She came to the
Yeah.
Who's Ass Voice?
I don't remember her
She
name.
came to what?
she came to the
Did
apartment.
she work at
once.
a shoe store and she was like a
Yeah.
salesman?
Yeah, and
Like she came up, she was like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like really, like was like
over
dominated.
What's going on?
Are you talking
like-
about me and Travis's apartment?
Yeah.
I don't remember her.
She
What
went.
was her-
I think it might have been when
everybody's
Katrina was
hand,
there.
What
like,
was her name?
Sonya.
yeah, she was gonna sell us all a fucking like used cars. She had like that energy of like she's
Yeah.
going for it.
What the fuck, dude?
But like,
I
so
was
she
like,
came
whoa.
over for a little bit, and they left, and then somebody goes. As soon as she shut the door, somebody pulled out the quote like,
You better go back to hell where you came from with that fucking ass voice.
That was
Hello, this is the grandmother.
This is the grandmother. But that's
You all right, Darth Vader? You coughing up a fur fucking ball?
But her friends are so shitty because even though I dated an ass voice, you guys made fun of me, but you didn't make me like break up with her. Like,
No, we wouldn't do that. And
Yeah.
she was an attractive young woman. If you guys like each other, no problem.
so she has these friends that are just like, ew, he's like not like us and like stuff and awesomeness and like leave him in like
Yeah, they're
stuff.
trying to get her to leave the nice good guy
Yeah.
for a fucking piece of shit jock asshole.
And the one that her friend has already like
hung out with.
like she's already like made out with and hasn't told her, and now they're gonna get back together. That's a weird fucking
Yeah, didn't
thing.
Tommy suck on them titties?
Yeah. And he stopped himself from going any further.
He cock blocked himself. But Lauren, the entire time, just sort of like, yeah, you should do it. Like,
she's like, fuck this.
Would
I'm
you
gonna
stop
work,
yourself
I'm gonna
from
work at a bike
from
store?
E.G. Daily?
fuck no, I wouldn't.
They set her up too. This is also about their bad friendship because Tommy arrives here and they all leave her there.
Yeah,
They,
that's what-
they set her up.
Well, like,
Yeah.
I'm wondering, was he just like hanging out in the wings, just being like,
Yeah,
Yeah, he was.
pretty much.
Yeah, it was a setup.
That was
Like,
like
what
all
the
set up to
fuck?
get her to break up with Randy and go with Tommy. They like primed her up and then dropped Tommy on her and
Then
left him
she's
alone.
got to
She's
deal
like,
with
"You
that
know what?
shithead sitting next to her. He starts eating her food.
yeah, and she's immediately like, ugh.
Puts
He
that
also-
stupid bracelet back on it, I think, in that scene.
Yeah,
maybe?
He also tells Julia that he will kick Randy's ass again. I'm like, dude, you punched him while your friends held him. You're a fucking pussy.
He got
Yeah.
one sucker punch and then the gut punch
Yeah.
when his friends were holding him.
Like, you didn't stand there and face him in a real fight.
And if Fred had some balls, I love Fred, but he's just a pussy. Like, he would have stepped in and done something, but he just hid behind a girl. So it was just all Randy against 5 guys. You didn't kick nobody's ass, you piece of shit.
Well, then it cuts to the heartbreaking scene where Randy, he's in a good mood. He comes
He's
to
all
Julie's door.
about it.
Just stops by. What a sweet.
He's
coming
just
by.
like, and he
Like, my
hasn't done
girlfriend
anything
would be
wrong.
so stoked if I just showed up at her house like
Yeah,
that.
and he hasn't
To
done
say
anything
hi.
wrong for
I just
her.
thinking
to,
about you. I miss you.
But they actually do capture that really
It made me
well.
look bad, Randy.
They absolutely capture this really well, though, where a woman isn't feeling it anymore, so she's like forcing like a fight. Like he's coming over totally fine,
Yeah.
What-
and then she just twists it like,
Yeah, and then
What?
he's like, I just wanted to tell you I love you. That's
"Stop
all.
suffocating me!" You know,
It's like,
what?
Damn it, why do you always barge in like that?
You shouldn't talk like that.
Don't tell me what to do. You have no control over my life. I could see anybody I want to, okay?
Now, fuck off for sure. Like, totally.
Yeah, I love that one.
Oh,
That's
man.
one of my favorite ones in the movie.
That's where they're
Someone
bringing up the
wrote
Valley
this?
Girl theme again, and he was supposed to be mocking the Valley Girl theme. But the thing is, how heavy has the Valley Girl theme really been? It's been brought up like 1.5 times.
It's just how they talk. That's all.
but barely. They're kind of. It's not. It's almost like they're in and out of accent. They're not really like. It's not front and center. Not at all. I feel like they do a couple of like, for sure, totally. So anyway, we're back to our normal voices, and then they.
Yeah, exactly. Like, as it, like,
It doesn't feel like it's just that big of a theme. It's just funny.
But, and good for him for like, saying that to her at the end. When he's like, "Fuck off!" Like
Yeah.
totally,
Yeah.
And he goes back to that rock club.
Yep. And
Yeah.
the Plimsolls are playing again.
yeah,
Fuck
they
yeah.
are. I think they're like, they were supposed to be like the house band or something like that, probably.
They had to be.
Probably. Yeah.
It'd be weird to have him. Well, then again, this could have been months later. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
You
then,
never know. That montage didn't tell us.
then the fourth set comes walking into the room.
The what?
The fourth set.
Do we see Samantha's?
Is that her name?
That's her name. Her name is Samantha. That's
Yeah.
the one I actually looked up.
In the bathroom.
Do we see? We do.
I didn't even
her,
see
do
him.
we see her boobs?
Hold on, you guys don't know.
I didn't see him.
You know, it cuts to him coming out of the bathroom a little later. We don't know how far they. I
Well,
mean,
I
he
bet-
might have finished it off.
I think he probably did.
Yeah,
They was on the whole-
I just
like to
assumed
think
that.
he
I
did.
assumed that they fucked there.
I like to think he did.
Well, because there's that the 2 girls that walk in, and then he looks over at him. Is like,
But then how about he's outside the club drunk, and these dudes just come up and start talking shit.
It's
Havoc
like-
style. That reminds me of us back in the day. We were the guys rolling up in the car,
Yeah.
seeing some drunk dude just talking shit and getting him to be like, I'll fucking
fucking
kick
kill
your
you."
ass. And we're like, just fuck with him.
Fred saved his ass though.
Yeah,
He got
I
him
think
out
he
of
was
there.
going to get his ass whooped.
Yeah.
I think Fred
Yeah.
saved him.
that was the worst
Just leave me
Hispanic
alone,
accent
Fred.
ever.
I got a bird on my chest, dude. I don't know.
KAKAW.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it.
KAKAW!
He's like, you're shit faced. And he's like, I just got my ex-girlfriend pregnant in the bathroom.
But this is when we get the montage of Randy stalking.
Oh,
yeah, because
holy shit.
Starts out.
Well, I think that's the ultimate thing with the Fred and the, hey, you need to pick yourself up and like get her back or some bullshit with the motivation. Because I was tuning out.
And
but that was the ultimate gist of that.
Yeah. Well, and we find out that Julie was in the cast of Newsies.
We find that out?
Yeah. Didn't you not see that outfit?
No, I don't look at their outfits. I know you always talk about their clothes and shoes and purses and shit.
Look at me, I'm the king of New York.
Okay. It's a very Newsies outfit.
That's fucking dumb.
She does look like a journalist.
They were the people who handed out the newspapers there, Chief.
I know, but I'm saying she looks like a...
Like, all those fucking stupid ass stomp clap hay bands that look like the Newsies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Mumford and Sons and the Lumineers and like fucking Jiminy Cricket looking dumb fucks.
Overrated.
So stupid.
Jiminy
There's a guy with a Jiminy Cricket fucking outfit banging on a floor tom once a measure. Like, what are you doing in the band, man?
Yeah, but cute shoes.
Julie was right there with them.
Cute vest.
Yeah.
Love the beard.
You fucking dork.
Woodblock, eh? Yeah. Sick. How much you make for that? Awesome. once a measure, eh? Awesome. Woodblock. Huh. Who'd have thought?
But he's got like he leaves a radio message.
Yeah.
Or has a radio message, which is pretty funny. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's funny.
He's like, I want to.
Well, he shows up first, like, just hops in the car when she's being picked up for school, which is a little. That's a lot. And she's like, doesn't give him anything, kicks him out of the car, but then
To Julie, his favorite Valley girl, Randy sends his undying love and says, like, come back soon,
And she's sitting there painting her nails like girls do. Couldn't give her any more depth than that. But
and she flips through like a book and sees the photo.
Yeah, when she was in the Newsies outfit. Yeah.
And she's like, man, I really still do kind of like, she has that look on her face. She's kind of missing him. And she goes to a 3D movie.
Yeah.
Oh, bitchin', is this in 3D?
No, but your face is.
That's my favorite line of the whole movie. When he looks at the guy who kicked his ass, who doesn't recognize him.
Right.
The one who was dating his girlfriend. He saw them on dates together. He just doesn't recognize him because he's wearing 3D glasses.
Yeah. Well,
he's the ticket taker.
Like Superman.
And how he just, no, but your face is. I love it.
I love the way he says it. He just kind of dances like, no, but your face is. And it's just so Nicolas Cage.
And then they're at a burger place getting burgers, and he happens to work there too. How did he know everywhere they were going to go?
I don't know.
Their phones tapped.
Tommy goes, it appears as though you forgot our French fries and a Coke, fish head. He goes, oh, well, Peter Piper picked a pepper. I guess I did.
Well, he does it in a really
He gets
weird
a little Nicolas Cage
voice.
right there again. He gets a little bit, the crazy goes in his eyes, and you're like, that's not Randy. That's like,
That's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
coming through. He's seeping through the veins a little bit there.
He will use this in so many movies in his life. He's just going to get weird. And that's like what
He's
sells
gonna
the
buy
dialogue.
a castle.
The weirder he gets with the dialogue, sure. Working for him. He's Coppola.
And then so
hey, hummingbird.
It ends with fucking him on the front lawn.
And, it makes another appearance in the scene. KAKAW.
Oh, KAKAW. Yeah.
But then from there, Randy
KAKAW.
and Fred are like looking down
on the valley.
Yep. Just looking over. She's out there somewhere, man. All that shit. And that's when Fred's like, I've got a plan to get back at Tommy and all those assholes and get your girl back.
All right.
But you notice how the scene ends where
We have ADD.
Randy blows on some weird like whistle.
Yeah,
thing?
it doesn't even like it's like I have a better whistle than that thing.
I think it's a chest bird call. That is my theory.
It's a KAKAW.
It's a KAKAW.
I think he's literally. I think when he did that, all the hairs on his chest stood up.
And like
it was like a call to arms, man.
Yeah.
Chest bird call.
Call to wings. Because birds don't have arms.
That's true.
But that's it. So I guess we're going on to scene 3.
I mean, I guess.
Jason, are you ready for scene 3?
Scene 3.
Scene 3.
I hope I peaked. Scene 3 now.
You did.
As the girls make prom decorations, Stacy and Lauren chat over their post-prom plans.
Yep, love it.
Post-prom plans. The puppy lost its way.
Peter Piper picked a peck of peppers.
Stacy reveals Tommy made a reservation at the Valley Sheraton Hotel as an after-prom surprise for Julie.
At least it's not the back of a Volkswagen.
That'd be very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Tommy and Julie ride to the prom in a rented limousine. Randy and Fred arrive shortly after and sneak backstage. Randy increasingly becomes annoyed with watching the Valley High kids dance, but Fred assures him all is going according to plan. Julie and Tommy are escorted backstage, waiting to be introduced as king and queen of the prom. Randy and Fred make their move. Randy confronts Tommy, and the two begin to brawl. When the prom king and queen are announced, the curtain pulls back to reveal Randy beating up Tommy. Randy kicks Tommy in the wolf nards.
Tommy's got nards.
Then escorts a thrilled Julie from the stage through the crowd. Tommy recovers and storms through the crowd toward Randy and Julie, who start a food fight to slow Tommy down and facilitate their escape from the venue in Tommy's rented limousine.
Almost wasn't an 80s teen movie, but we got our food fight.
Yeah.
As the happy couple ride into the night towards the Valley Sheraton, Julie removes Tommy's ID bracelet, which had been a sign of the relationship between the two during the entire film, and throws it out the window. The two presumably finally have sex at the Valley Sheraton. Credits roll, motherfucker. So I love how they're getting ready for the prom, and Steve is in the bathroom just like smoking a joint while Sarah tends to Julie and Tommy.
Because he's so nervous.
I thought that was fucking hilarious. He's just in there like trying to cheap it up and like.
And
yeah, he's like putting a towel under the door, and it's just like, hold on, I'm getting my camera.
Almost there.
Yeah, like you wouldn't smell that. That generation of parents really thought they were hiding it from their kids.
Well,
Isn't that fucking funny?
So was was he hiding it from Julie or was he hiding it from Sarah? Because Sarah was like, whenever he came back and the girl and the kids
Sarah
left.
knew. She was like,
yeah, because she's like, well, maybe
she starts rubbing his shoulders. He goes, "This ain't Bangkok. I don't need a massage."
That got weird though.
Yes,
the rubbing, like how it was getting progressively weirder. I remember watching and go, what the fuck are they doing? And then it leads to, hey, this is in Bangkok, and I'm like, oh, I think it was supposed to be like a joke.
See,
like the rubbing.
I have a feeling. I have a feeling that
So
this
weird.
was like they were saying, hey, just improv these scenes, and they didn't realize that these guys suck at improv. They're just like, ugh, oh well. Like
I don't know.
They played in another
feel
movie.
like they wouldn't have put it as improv.
They played in another movie together.
Then
I can't remember what it is.
So somebody wrote that line. Hey, this isn't Bangkok. I don't need a massage.
Probably.
But I would wear Tommy's tux. The pink tux. I would probably wear it. Now I would. I don't think I would have. I went white and I went zoot suit.
Pink means pussy, and he's got lots of it.
Pink means pussy, and he's got lots of it.
I just saw fucking
Josie Cotton and the Party Crashers are the prom band.
They are a real band.
Okay, I
Well,
would have guessed
Josie
it.
Cotton was real.
Well, I at first was like, this is gonna suck. But then I was like, dude, this is fucking rad. She's good. It was a good band.
Yeah, not bad.
I mean, like for back in the 80s, because we know that hair metal wasn't even going on yet. Stroud made that clear. That hadn't happened yet. Okay, but then we have the dumbest part of the movie.
You talking about the cups for
The
the
fucking
punch?
cups. What the fuck?
Oh man. Yeah, that's
And
even
that
more
little,
pointless.
That little fucking punch bowl for that entire prom.
Yeah, and then
what's everybody get a sip?
And then when they clearly spike it, and the teacher sticks his fucking grubby ass finger
little
in the
flat.
goddamn punch. When he
A little
says it's a little flat, was it implying that
he needs more? I think they needed more. They needed to spike
So
it
he
a little bit more.
tasted
No,
the alcohol?
I don't think he did. I think he, the more alcohol you put in something, the more it like balances out more over the fucking carbonation. You know what I mean?
I guess I just felt like this whole dance scene is dragging at this point.
Well,
Like I've
I
seen a
know-
lot of shit that like came from nowhere, doesn't have payoffs. The cups, the punch. The stakes are so low. I don't. It's like they don't mean anything.
I said, what the fuck? What was the point of these cups? This better pay off.
No.
What are they spiking the punch? There's no cups. What the fuck?
They're implying that Susie was in charge of the cups and she's late because her and Skip were banging.
Right.
Because it's like, hey, well, you were glowing. It's basically like that again. Why are you glowing?
That whole thing could have been summed up in 2 lines.
Right.
Hey, where are all the cups? Break away, do some other shit like that. Hey, Susie, you're finally here with the cups. Where have you been? You got all of that.
Right. No, this is
In
like
those 2 lines I just
it's like
said.
the
I
ninth
just made it up.
time that's happened in this movie, where it's like, at some point, If they would have edited it properly, this movie would be
60 minutes probably.
Yeah, like 68 minutes or some shit.
Yeah.
It'd just be like real short.
Yeah.
So, Randy's watching them all. He's getting pissed because it looks like Julie and Tommy are like maybe slow dancing, right? They're kind of getting close, and he's like getting real jealous.
Yeah.
I think that's the next thing I got.
Well, the song that they're singing about, like,
is it like,
oh,
Johnny, are you queer? Or whatever?
yeah, Johnny, are you queer?
Yeah.
I was thinking, it was like, oh, are you weird or whatever? I thought that's where we were going. But then when it showed the backup singers, they're like, Johnny, are you queer? I'm like, oh, so they mean it.
Yeah,
like, that's a second drop.
It's about a girl who's like seeing a guy and he like wants to hang out with his friends more, and she's like wondering if maybe he's gay.
Okay, I had no idea. So it was like, oh, they meant that.
Not that there's anything wrong.
Not
with
that there's
that.
anything wrong.
No,
with
but
that.
that's what the song is about.
I know.
Yeah, but I understand. But
It's
like
just
I
funny.
said, that's the second drop that would not fly. In this,
Yeah, maybe not.
40 years
the
ago, it's
teacher
fine.
reading the little speech before announcing the prom of king and queen.
Like,
So, but how about how about right even before that when they're like, he's just like, oh, I hate this. And he's like, don't worry, everything's going according to plan. And then it's just like, this is simplicity at its finest. And then all of a sudden he looks at his, so let's crush that fly. What the fuck was that?
exactly.
The
Was
fuck
there
was
something that had to have like there had to
Who
have been
said that?
something?
They
Nicolas
did.
Cage.
Fucking Fred and Randy go, let's, and then they say it together, crush that fly. And then they like do a little high five. I'm like, what was it? What the fuck?
I don't even know if I noticed that. I don't know.
It's
what
like
that means.
it's almost like you're supposed to know about it, but this is the only. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, maybe
Let's
it's
crush that
maybe it's a
fly.
reference that would made more sense in '83, and
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's probably a reference to something that was happening at the time, or a scene that was cut out,
or
possibly.
something
I don't know.
older than
I don't know.
that. Like,
And then even their fight is kind of stupid. It did look like Tommy was limbering up to beat the ever loving fuck out of him, though.
Yeah.
He was like doing
his
some
little
like
kung fu routine.
Yeah,
like,
did
no,
some ninja
that's,
shit.
he's
It
a
was
little
hilarious.
bitch. I'm glad Randy kicked his ass.
Yeah.
Fuck Tommy.
Kicked him in the nards.
yeah, he cooked him in the
Tommy's
wolf
a
nards.
bitch.
Like,
And the food fight was fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Food fight was way stupid. It felt forced. But that was how they like bought just enough time to get out and steal his limo. Oh, the balls. And as anyone knows, if you've ever hired a limo, no big deal. But I'll tell you,
In BD.
they only take orders about where to go and when to go from the guy that hired them. Tommy hired this limo. That limo would have said,
get the
it
fuck
would have
out.
said just stayed parked.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have told those people to leave, but it was just waiting for Tommy to say to get those people out or where to go or what to go.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have just left.
No.
But hey, it works for the movie, right?
But
Out with it, Andy.
he's losing it. He's gonna blow up.
okay.
Like
So
like the dude from Big Trouble in Little China.
Or the fucking, is it Scanners when the dude's headed?
But all right. So Tommy pulls up. It's a 2-window limo. All right. He picks up Julie. It's a 2-window limo. The guy pulls in.
Oh, it's just a 4-door car. It's not a stretch limo in any way.
It's a stretched out sedan in the back, right? So then, after they've left the prom, they're driving down to L.A. or wherever the fuck they're going to the. It's a 3-window fucking. It's a 3-window
No.
limo.
It's got to be the same car in both scenes.
It is not.
This one I don't buy.
You didn't do that. I'll talk to you later.
That is a different fucking car. Is that they're implying that's it? That's a totally different car. Oh yeah. So Andy got it right.
I don't even think it's the same like brand of car.
No, that's not the
It's
same car
not.
at all.
That's a Chrysler. The other one's a fucking Lincoln.
Yeah, that's not the car they got into when they left there. So that's funny. They filmed on a 2
No,
nights.
the
and they
same car
didn't
was
have
at the
access
house
to it.
and coming to the prom, but
Right.
leaving the prom was
leaving the
different.
prom.
And leaving the prom.
No,
The car
I'm-
they got into when they left the prom was not that car.
Oh, okay, so it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
No,
I'm
it's
st-
just that one shot.
okay.
Just that one shot. They clearly either added that to the end and didn't have access to the same car or shot these on different
Well,
nights.
what did that
But that's
one
some
shot
bad
add to it?
continuity.
Is
It didn't need it.
it didn't need it. It could have just gone right to them. So
Well,
but
if
then-
you didn't have
and
the
then-
car, because the
and
continuity
then they
was a little weird. there.
force the graduate ending.
Yeah, basically the rest. The only thing I have left is like Julie tosses Tommy's bracelet. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Modern English kicks in. Credits roll.
And well, the limo driver goes, Valley Sheridan? And they're like, yeah. So that was the hotel that he booked.
Yeah.
So they're basically implying that not only do you get your limo, we're going to go fuck in your room.
Yeah.
I back that ending. That's a great ending.
Andy, we should do a shot right now.
Let's do a shot. Oh yeah, we
That's
have
a
one
great
set.
ending.
We forgot to do it at the beginning of 3.
We did. Scene free.
Xenu.
Xenu.
So delicious. But yeah.
Soy delicious.
Yeah, so yeah, I do support that they're gonna go do all of this stuff on Tommy's dime.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, I back
Fuck
that.
Tommy, dude.
Yeah.
Eat dirt, Tommy.
Perfect. Perfect.
Okay.
I think it wraps it up.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I'm done. Are you guys done? We're wrapped.
We're wrapped.
Are we wrapped on the scene by scene of this thing?
Yeah, we're done.
All right. I think we should rate it now.
All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
Guys, if you had to rate this thing on a scale of 0 to 10, bitch and tits.
Oh, that is very appropriate.
Because
like
we
that.
saw plenty of bitch and tits in this one.
Yeah,
we did.
They were tripendicular.
That's our rating system. So, Andy, do you want to go first on this one?
I'll go ahead and go first.
Okay.
It was perfect. It was great. There's no notes, as you
Sure.
can tell through my
Sure.
10 out of 10. Fuck no.
Oh, okay.
2 out of 10. Don't watch this. It was fucking terrible.
Ooh,
I hated this movie.
That's a pretty low rating for Andy.
Oh, and I like bad movies. I love bad movies. I love Troll 2. I love Sharknadoes.
I love The Room.
Room. All of
You've
those.
mentioned these before.
Yes. But this is just don't watch. This is bad. It is bad.
Okay.
It's not so bad that it's funny or anything.
It's
like
not
for
bad
you?
that it's good. It's just bad.
Okay, I'm going to be a little more charitable. I thought I was going to be in that 2 to 3 scale when it opened. I was like, oh no. Like, I don't know. It's just, there was something about it. I was like, God damn it. It wasn't as off. Like, I was able to follow everything. I literally was like, I'm not going to remember who these people are. I was having face blindness.
Yeah.
None of the characters meant anything to me. So I was like having a hard time going who's who. But I eventually kind of caught up going, okay, that's this, I was able to figure it out. More watchable than I thought from the opening scenes. But real clunky. And I'm going to chop that up to a lot of it has to do with how early this movie was made in this genre of film for me. This genre of film, I really think came into its own much later than this. Clunky start to it all. Let's give it.
Think about
I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10. Bitch and tits.
You think about
don't watch
16 Candles and shit. Like,
Yeah,
that was the same time.
Yeah, and that was so much better.
Right. So it's
Yeah.
not the time. It's not because
you're right. You're right.
because
You're
of how
probably
early
right.
this is.
I just think that even the generic ones later were way less clunky than this. Even generic ones. So 3 out of 10. Bitch and tits. Don't buy.
16
Don't
Candles.
watch.
16
Don't
Candles
watch.
was 84. So you were right. This is
Well,
the same
a year
time.
later.
No, I'm saying
it's in the same time zone. Yeah. Time
Well, this is
period.
83. So yeah.
Time zone. Yeah, it's the same time zone.
Same time. They were
Okay.
like both in mountain time, I think. So.
Yeah, it was mountain time at that time.
So I'm going 8 out of 10. Bitch and tits.
Holy
Just
shit.
kidding. 4 out of 10.
Okay. I'm like, what the fuck?
4 out of 10. It's not great, but
2, 3, 4.
it is kind of a classic.
I-
It's a solid
I-
period piece.
I see what you mean.
I can
I
understand
absolutely
where you're
do.
coming from.
and so I say watch it. I think everybody, it's worth a watch because people could find something in it.
I'd say watch Gleaming the Cube, and you will get just as much.
No, because
80s
Gleaming
like-
the Cube is like
A different movie
a
altogether.
fucking fantastic movie.
It is because you can spend so much better time with that. So that's it for me.
All right. So we got what, a 2, a 3, and a 4?
2, 3, 4.
Okay.
I think so.
All right. So now it's time for the fuckface challenge. We came up with a few. None of them were super inspiring, but the one that we ended on is when Beth catches Susie and Skip in bed together. If the camera doesn't cut, what happens next? I'm going to go first.
Okay.
Okay.
She joins him and they have a threesome. I mean,
knew that
hey,
was
we're
good.
in 2025 and we live in a post-Pornhub stepmom porn world, so here we are. They're going to all fuck.
All right. I'll go.
I knew that you
I
were
go
going
next,
that way.
And that's exactly why, as I really assumed that would be the first place anyone would go.
Yep.
Of course. Stepmom porn. It's right there. Why not? I'll let someone else take it. So I figured she walks in and Susie's, Mom, camera cuts.
Right.
Well, in this version walks in and goes, Mom. But Skip goes, oh shit, and freaks out and runs over and snaps Beth's neck and kills her immediately. And Susie's like, what the fuck are you doing? He was like, I don't know, I panicked. And then she was just like, we're going down. She's like, I gotta call the police. And he goes, don't you fucking touch that phone. And then he takes her prisoner. It's a whole fucking thing.
Okay.
He's like, we're going to prom, but if you act fucking strange or people catch on, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And he's like really,
He's roiding out.
yeah, he's freaking out.
Okay.
And I think when the limo gets stolen, they go to the Valley Sheridan or whatever. Skip takes Susie
Uh-huh.
and he goes on the run, and it goes to several states, and it ends in a police chase, shootout. Susie lives, though she is wounded. Skip doesn't make it.
Oh, damn. I liked Skip.
Yeah. And the whole time she was terrified. She did not like him after killing the stepmom.
Well, I mean,
so this was a hostage situation.
So it wasn't like the chase with
She went to
Charlie
prom.
Sheen.
When she was
and-
at the prom, it was under duress. Things have turned completely south in that subplot, and now they do matter.
So they took the all the confusion and
Cacaws?
chaos.
They took all the
the
cacaws?
cacaws going on, and they're like, "We're out." And so
Yeah.
Skip just grabbed her. I see that.
Yeah.
All right, I like it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, hey.
All right.
That's why they call me J. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, we do call him that all the time. We do call him that.
So,
J. Night Shyamalan.
Shyamalan.
Yeah.
All right. So I kind of went a little bit in between you two, believe it or not.
Okay.
All right.
That's pretty
He
broad.
kills her
but
and has sex with the corpse.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
But it took a hard 90. All right. So Beth walks into the room and sits down on the bed, all seductive like and everything like that. She starts to remove her jacket, and Skip's getting all into it. And she says to Susie, "Dude, relax. She's just your stepmom." Up his ass.
Okay.
Beth is just elbow deep inside of Susie.
All the signs were there. Boy, are we glad Andy went last. that was a headliner. If
I was
ever
on
heard
board
one.
until we had this fucking Battlestar Galactica or whatever the
No,
fuck
it's
it was.
fucking Star Wars, man. There's a TIE fighter. They got the Death Star up there. There's a space battle going on. This movie was so fucking rough for me to get through. I could only get through it by making up new stories and backstories for all these people because each character is as deep
That's
as a
why you were
fucking
doing
puddle.
that.
I could not
Just
stay.
writing these backstories.
It took me
I'm like, why are you
3
doing
watches to get through it. 3 watches to get through this.
Oh, brutal.
It was so brutal.
Well, we rated it. We fuckface challenged it. We watched it. We put this bitch to bed.
I think it's time.
Probably the lowest overall rated.
It
I
is
would say.
100%
I think
that.
it's time to roll. See what we're doing next.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Okay.
All right, spin that wheel, motherfucker.
Give me something fucking decent.
All right. Here we go.
Better be good, Andy.
Yeah, we just came off our lowest
I
rated.
don't get to choose this shit.
Yeah, well, you got to blame someone. It's like the weatherman. All right,
Yeah.
here we go. Here we go. This is it. This is the one. This is the best one of the year so far. I can feel it.
Oh,
my
okay.
God.
Okay.
We got our first sequel, and I got to be honest, I'm less excited than these guys. But we're doing it. American Pie 2.
American Pie 2.
American Pie 2. Okay.
This is a good sequel.
The Return of the Pie.
This is a good sequel, and this is before they started overdoing Stifler.
Oh, we will not do American
No,
American
no,
Wedding.
no
or
more
anything like
American
that.
Pie
No.
movies are after that.
Okay, we can agree that we're done after 2?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, then
Yeah,
you guys don't have a
absolutely.
goddamn deal.
Yeah.
Because 2 is just as good as 1.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit not as good, but it's pretty
Okay.
good.
I didn't hate 1.
I love
I
1.
hadn't watched it in
I
so
love
long.
I love 1 and 2.
I think I remember being surprised.
Yeah.
So, all right.
All right, number 2.
If this belongs with it, then
This does have my favorite Bronco of all time in it. Stifler, whatever, Ostriker's Bronco that they take to the lake.
Yeah, this one doesn't feel like it feels like it's made right after the other one. It's
Yeah.
the same vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stifler
pretty
is
good.
really fucking
I
funny.
know I've seen it
in
before, but it's just been a long time,
Yeah.
and I don't remember what happens in which ones.
So,
all right, guys.
Okay.
Well, fucking like our Bluetooth.
Yeah, we'll see you next time for American Pie 2.
American Pie 2, we got...
Get on our socials at the Movie Roulette Podcast, themovieroulettepodcast.com, YouTube. Again, YouTube videos are getting edited more because of the stupid copyright rules and bullshit.
Yeah.
Write your congressman.
If
Tell
you
him
want
to stop that.
We're not trying to pass this shit off as ours. We're just liking it.
Turn
We're trying to get people to watch it.
Turn your video option on Spotify and watch us on there. It's great. I
hear that most of it's not cut. So on Spotify.
No,
That's
nothing's
the
cut
rumor
out
out there, guys.
Yeah. Andy's full edit is on Spotify.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, YouTube again, like I said, it's a crapshoot. It might be a full edit. It might have some extra editing out of it.
It might be circumcised. If you want uncircumcised,
Exactly.
Spotify.
Exactly.
So,
I feel like it's anything we do. The main edit is circumcised, but the YouTube version is they cut off too much and maybe get it short.
Yeah, they straight up gave you a micro penis.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Or you know what?
Hey, you're supposed to be nice. You're supposed to be nice to people with micro penises because that's how you get
body
psychos.
shaming,
That's
man.
right.
It's body shaming.
That's how you get Hitler.
Oh, that's right.
But yeah, you can find us on all over that stuff. You can share it. You can tell your friends about it. You can rate us, like us, comment. Send us ideas in the DMs. You know, we like feedback on the fuckface challenge and the rating.
Yeah.
If you wanna share your opinion, which we do get that. I've had some messages in the deal. I've had some messages for movies to add, which we've done.
Yep.
So,
but no matter what message you leave or criticism, comment, whatever, just do it with a 5-star review or 5-star rating, and then say the meanest shit after that. That's fine.
the video on YouTube. It actually does help.
Yeah. So I think that's it. We'll see you guys next time for American Pie 2.
Tell 2 friends.
Tell 2 more friends, and they tell 2 friends.
And be excellent to each other, of course, always.
We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
All right, peace out.